Hello everybody and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, where our lander for Pull is just entering the Joule system right now, and will very shortly be starting its braking burn. After the Hohmann transfer, of course, it needs a small braking burn, because otherwise we would just fly right out of the Joule system, which isn't exactly what we're going for here with a rover. That's definitely not the plan. So the real question is, which add-on was more correct when it comes to the amount of thrust to weight that this has over pull? Well, we'll find out very shortly. There is no doubt about that. We're going to be doing this burn right now, and it's going to be about a 7-minute burn. Going to go ahead and physics warp that, so that will not be too long. After this burn, we will be needing an inclination change. Pull is a bit inclined in its orbit, and we came in basically equatorial. So that's not perhaps ideal. We could have come in the plane of Pull and it would have been a little more efficient, but that's why I overbuild all of my craft. Overbuild everything, then you don't have to worry about minutiae like, doing things correctly. Also, we just failed the contract for the orbital station around BOP because it timed out. That's okay. We knew that was going to happen. We're still going to put the orbital station up there. We have it constructed. We just need to move it into place. But the transfer window for that isn't for another, at this point, 32 years? Something along those lines. So that's not going to be a thing for a little while. We are still going to have 2 more regular missions after this one, within the scope of this series, and that will be a communications satellite around Eeloo, followed by a lander on Eeloo. So that will be exciting, and of course there is the 1 out-of-scope mission that I allowed due to that contract, which would mean that we will have to get our asteroid station, which is here. We will have to get that here. Here's BOP. For some reason, I thought Pull was BOP. I don't know. How long have we been working in the Joule system? I should know these things by now. Apparently, I do not. Okay, there we go. Let's go ahead and set Pull as our target. How far off are we? 3.6 degrees, actually. That's exciting. Well, we're just going to match planes with the target here in 29 days. That'll only be 77 meters per second, so that's really, really not bad. Over Joule, you can see that we have 0.42 thrust to weight ratio from our atomic rocket motor here, and 0.2 from our ants, or no, these are spiders, for our quasi-sky crane. It's not technically a sky crane, but it's kind of close. And it's been the concept we've been working with this entire series. So it's worked well for us, except for Duna. We don't talk about the landing attempts on Duna. Oh, those were dark days. Rather like right now when the sun flare is going through Joule, but we see Joule on both sides of the sun flare. Lovely. Okay, let's get this inclination change finished up. There we go. Excellent. So when is our next transfer window, MechJub? Create that node. Oh my. MechJub? Are you feeling okay? That is not the direction you want to go. I mean, it's the right timing, but you went the wrong way, bro. Okay, let's go ahead and get the encounter ourselves then. Since apparently MechJeb is on strike. Let's see, the encounter should be right in here somewhere. I saw it a couple of times. There it was. There. Okay. Is that a decent encounter? It's not great. It's definitely not great. Let's see if we can't fine-tune it a little bit. Come on in. Oop, that was too much fine-tuning. There we go. That's a bit more like it. Come in at right about 100 kilometers. That'll be perfect. Nope, that's too much. Come on back down. 100, nope. Nope. Oh. Close enough. That's close enough. I'm going to stop messing with it. Okay. There we go. So our inclination is going to be a little wacky, but that's okay. I'm not too concerned about that. We are going to get some in-space near science, probably. I mean, it's not like we need science at this point, but it's kind of nice to have. I like how Joule never occluded that lens flare. That's pretty awesome. Good job, Joule. Okay. So this is going to be 71 meters per second to transfer. That's almost nothing, considering we've got 5,000 left. It's kind of ridiculous. Still gonna go ahead and physics warp it. I really don't understand why MechJeb decided to do what it did. Like, burn prograde out to here. That's what you want to do. Oh, it's just getting more and more broken. Maybe I should update it. It's been a few months. And a few game patches. Probably not a terrible idea. Okay, let's go ahead and warp here. We are going against the rotation. That's exciting. Well, we can always flip our rotation, or our directionality of our orbit from here. It's not a big deal. So let's go ahead and do that. Whoa, that was too much. Yeah, this thing has like no gravity. So let's go ahead and take it down to, what's the minimum safe altitude? As soon as we get in here, we'll find out. Here we come. Yeah, look at that. Almost no gravity. 200 meters per second to flip the directionality of our orbit and lower our periapsis. That's kind of insane. Okay, we are currently 9 days out. 8 days, 7 days, 6 days. There we go. Okay, so what is the minimum safe altitude here? Now, this is for Joule, so this is going to be incorrect for what we're looking for. But here we come. Excellent. So our minimum safe altitude is 5 kilometers. Oh my, that is very low indeed. I think we're going to, well, what's the low space altitude? 22 kilometers. That's very, very low indeed. We'll chill it right around 20 for right now and grab a little bit of science on the way around. So come on down to 20. That's close enough. Execute that node. Okay, so this is going to be flipping our directionality and lowering our periapsis down to 20 kilometers. So it's a little more delta V than it would normally take. I just don't want to be landing against the rotation of the planet because that's just extra delta V on the landing that we have to burn off, which I'm not interested in doing. What is that over there? Ah, that's BOP. I gotcha. That makes more sense. At first I thought that that was the asteroid base, and I was like, should that be visible from here at this angle? It's like across the solar system right now. Because we are currently here, and it's over here. Almost exactly across the solar system. If it were over a little bit further in its orbit, it would be. But it is not. Okay, so let's go ahead and physics warp this burn. Excellent. There's our directionality flip. And pushing back out. Fantastic. Now we should be going against, or rather, we should be going with the rotation. So we don't have to kill, like, essentially double our horizontal speed. Excellent. And then the next thing is I just want to circularize at the next periapsis. So create and execute. MechJeb should be able to handle that, but let's double check. Yep, looks like it did. Fantastic. 19.1 meters per second. Well, let's go ahead and warp around to here. That's about an hour away. We are in space high right now. Oh, there was a gravity scan that we didn't have there. That's fine. So let's go ahead and start transmitting some science. And also, we do definitely want to allow incomplete, just to be on the safe side. So we'll allow partial. We'll run an atmospheric pressure scan and transmit that. Oh, that burned through our electric charge so fast. That's kind of to be expected. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and physics warp here while we get our transmissions done. We'll run a mystery goo. Actually, we're not going to run the mystery goo observation. We'll reset that. We are going to run a gravity scan, and that's a lot of data. So we are definitely going to take some time to get that transmitted. There's no doubt about that. However, we've got all the time in the world, to the point where we can start warping around and looking for other biomes. However, it will take probably another orbit. Okay. We'll grab the Highlands and transmit that next. Oh my, that was fast. I wasn't expecting a 1000x time warp at 20 kilometers. But we'll just keep on transmitting. We've got Midlands here, but we'll keep going. We've got Highlands. Midlands. Okay, are we done transmitting yet? Almost. We are almost done transmitting. Now we're done transmitting. Fantastic. What other biomes do we have here? Midlands, that's fine. Highlands, we've got. More Midlands. More Highlands. Well, what else do we have? Is that it? Just the two? That'd be a little weird. Still Midlands. This is a lot of Midlands. Highlands. Okay. More Midlands. More Highlands. More Midlands. Additional Highlands. We're almost all the way around at this point. We've got Highlands, Midlands, and so far that's it. That appears to be it. Oh, that's Lowlands, but we already have Lowlands. I think there's only the 3. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and not alert us anymore. At the periapsis, actually, a little bit, that looks awfully rough right there. It looks a little bit smoother over here. So right here, I'm going to go ahead and kill our horizontal speed. Or at least a big portion of it. Maybe not all of it, but a big portion. Okay, MechJeb, go ahead and execute that node. And it looks like KER was the one that was correct. 4.14 thrust to weight ratio. So that's fine. Realistically, we could land with the nuclear engine, and we're probably going to mostly land with the nuclear engine. I am going to put in a quick save here, just in case I mess this up. But I shouldn't. This is fairly routine at this point. Okay, so. The world first suborbital spaceflight above Pole. I gotcha. Well, we're about to land. I'm going to go ahead and physics warp this burn. We are now no longer in orbit. And we have landing mode on. There we go. Horizontal speed should be just about gone. So let's go ahead and go to surface velocity minus. Actually, horizontal velocity minus. I want to make sure our horizontal speed is gone. Oh, it's pretty much gone. Like, to the point where tiny amounts of thrust would almost eliminate it entirely. There, that's as close to gone as we're going to get. Okay, I'm going to make another save here. Again, just in case. And we're going to warp towards the surface a little bit. There we go. We've got a suicide burn countdown of 3 minutes, but that's assuming that we have all of this. So we're not going to have all of this. And I'm not going to strictly go with the suicide burn. We are about 1 minute and 20 seconds from impact. We have so much Delta V in our Sky Crane. I think I'm just going to go ahead and detach. Yeah, let's do it. Let's go. Okay. I mean, we've got 12 minutes of burn time here. I'm not concerned. So, suicide burn countdown here is much more realistic. And I'm going to burn at about 5 seconds to suicide burn countdown. Just to be safe. We've got plenty of fuel. I'm not concerned. 8, 7, 6, 5. There we go. Suicide burn DV is going down substantially. Suicide burn length is going down substantially as well. And our suicide burn countdown is going up quite a lot. I'm going to go ahead and cut it until we're back down to 5 seconds. There we go. Our interplanetary transfer stage is about to go boom. Once again, I'm going to cut till we're down to 5 seconds to burn. There we go. And there goes all of that. Very nice. Okay. Continuing to cut. And we are going to pretty soon ignore the suicide burn countdown. But not for a little while yet. Back up to 5 seconds to the suicide burn. And we're just gonna keep burning off our DV. These are some pokey rocks. Wow. Are we landing right on them? No, we're landing right in between them, which is good. Okay, I'm gonna cut our throttle here a bit. There we go. Still a bit more. I'd like to be accelerating a little bit right now. Maybe cut throttle entirely. Yeah, we're not accelerating much at all. Okay, so we're going to do our suicide burn. I mean, at this point, it's not a suicide burn. I'm just going to manually eyeball this. And let's go ahead and cut throttle and just be slowly decelerating as we come in for a landing. Throttle down ever so slightly because we're slowing down a bit too much. And again. And nice. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and quick save once more because this can always get a wee bit tricky. But I'm going to go ahead and throttle this up a bit and decouple it. Nice. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah. And here we are. We have a lander on Pol. Absolutely perfect. World first, landed on the surface of Pol. I mean, world firsts in Kerbal Space Program don't really mean much. But we now have a rover here. Now it bears noting that the gravity is exceptionally low here. So I'm going to keep the brakes on. We might break our antenna if we start cruising around too much. However, we should definitely get our solar panels out. Because we are going to be transmitting back a lot of data. And we need power to do that. So first things first, let's transmit a temperature scan, and that will complete our contract. Excellent. Now an atmospheric pressure scan. We don't have enough power, I'm well aware. That can take some time. I'm going to go ahead and time warp it. Are we just about done transmitting? Let's go to 50x. Now we're done transmitting. Okay. What just blew up? Was that the Sky Crane? I think that was the Sky Crane. Also, these rock formations are kind of nuts. I've never been to Pol before. That's weird. Well, let's do our mystery goo observation. And we'll go ahead and transmit that. Yep, transmit. There we go. Things are still blowing up. We'll do our seismic scan next. And very soon our seismic scan will finish. There we go. And finally, we will do our gravity scan. Transmit that. And there we go. There's all of our data. Our contract is complete. And that means that we are officially, theoretically, done with the Joule system. Let's head on back to the Space Center. And for now, let's just start thinking about what we're going to do next. Well, we definitely need to start moving on to the ELU system. But we also need to be thinking about when we want to move our asteroid base. And let's take a quick look here. Okay, maneuver node is in 33 years, just about. So yeah, that'll be a while. The Joule encounter will only be like 4 years after that, though, so that's not too bad, really. Interesting. Okay, so we've still got plenty of time, so let's go check our contracts. What do we have? Flag on Minmus. I mean, that's super easy, but no. Anything good here? Not particularly. Well, in that case, there's only one thing to do. Let's put up a communications satellite. It's not like we haven't done that dozens of times. But this one's over ELU. So that's exciting. I've never gone to ELU before. So we are going to be grabbing our Odd One Mark V. We don't have a contract, so we don't need to do anything particular here. I would like, since we're going to ELU, okay, real quick, let's hop out of here, and let's go take a look at where exactly ELU is in its orbit right now. It's been a couple years since I last checked. Let's see. ELU is almost done with its, I think it's called a conjunction, where it's closest. So we're definitely going to have to consider that we're going to be targeting this out here with our next couple of launches, which is further than Joule, by a relatively substantial margin. So we're definitely going to need a couple thousand Delta V more. That said, pretty much every rocket that we sent to Joule had a few thousand Delta V extra. Now, this particular communication satellite has plenty of Delta V to get there. The real question is, do we actually want to use the electric propulsion system on here? Also, these solar panels, they are going to generate basically nothing at ELU. So I think we ditch the solar panels, and we just strap on some RTGs. It's going to be a little wacky looking, but we just stick RTGs like so. About 8 RTGs. It's super expensive, don't get me wrong, but we've got the money. And that should generate, theoretically-ish, enough power. Let's see, how much does that actually generate? It generates 0.8 per second, so 0.8 times 8, 6.4. How much do we need for the electric propulsion engine? What is the max, the peak consumption of that? 8.74 per second. Okay, so we're not going to be able to burn at maximum constantly. We'll be able to burn close to maximum. One thing we may want to consider doing is upping our number of RTGs, but this is already getting very expensive. I don't know. We're only looking at a couple more missions, so maybe if we go ahead and do that and run, like, say, 6 RTGs per row, if you will. Something kind of along the lines of that. And then just move the KER. put it right about there. And move the mech jeb, put it right there. The science experiments look fine. Okay. So that will be generating us I think enough. Let's see here. 6 times 0.8 is 4.8 times 2 would be 9.2. So yeah, that would generate us enough to run the engine, or theoretically to transmit some data. In a kind of weird way. Okay, so we've got 19,702 meters per second of delta V. That is more than enough. However, about half of that is, of course, in our electric propulsion system. And the thrust to weight on that is pretty garbage. At ELU, the thrust to weight of that is 0.38, according to MechJeb. And KER agrees, actually. So that's interesting. That's actually higher than I was expecting. Over the sun, it's going to be pathetic. 0.03, yeah. That said, we're not going to be running it over the sun, almost certainly. That's what the nuclear engine is for. So I think we're fine. I'm going to save this, and we're going to put in a cut in here. And I think that, now that I'm thinking about it, we can ditch these tail fins quick. Put it into mirror mode, and then just put a tail fin on the outsides out here. That'll save us a little bit of weight. But I'm going to go ahead and put a cut in here, and next episode, we will launch this satellite to ELU. See you all then.